Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025.
And I got laid off when Schmielon Schmusk acquired the company.
And I was really blindsided by it.
I just don't understand how this is legal.
Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses. So yeah, I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
2025, I'm gonna need a refund because this year sucks already. I just got laid off for basically the second time back to back. If you didn't know, I worked at Twitter and I got laid off when Schmielon Schmusk acquired the company. Since then, I've been working at a like a content strategy agency type place as a director of strategy, and I just got laid off yesterday. It's surreal because I definitely didn't want to go through another layoff. Being laid off the first time was one of the most traumatic events that have ever happened to me, especially because it happened so publicly. This time was obviously a little bit different, but the company lost some clients, and now here I am without a job. It's hard not to reevaluate my life choices at this point. I work in tech, and so I'm wondering if that's still what I should be doing. It's hard to feel like secure in a job anymore. It feels like those days are over. So I don't know if I should be in tech anymore or working this corporate life. I love the security of having a stable job, but um, that hasn't been the case for quite some time for me because it's just been so unstable in the industry. So um, I'm considering other options, obviously. I had a wild idea. I think somebody on TikTok said, hey, become an ultrasound tech. That takes like 2 years of schooling and then you're in. And I was like, sounds good to me. But again, I also really enjoyed my job doing marketing, strategy, working in the digital space, working with tech. It is fast paced and it's very exciting. So I honestly don't know what to do. If you have any advice for me, I would love to friggin' hear it because I'm swirling. This all happened yesterday. So I've been like waffling between panic applying to places and just rotting on the couch. Would love something more constructive to do with my time. But if you have any advice, any tips, any job leads or connections, please let me know. I'm in the Bay Area, remote work, anything. I want to be busy. I'm somebody who likes to do things. So um, this is my plea to you, TikTok. Thank you so much.
So I was fired today and wanted to come on because I feel like, number one, this happens to a lot of people. And I was really blindsided by it. The reason I wanted to come on, number one, is because I feel like this happens to a lot of people, and it's like shocking and a lot to process. You work for a company with people for a long time, and then to just get a Zoom, or like, this was like a random meeting put on my calendar, and it only showed like my manager on it. I didn't know like the HR person was gonna be on too, and then they just like said it very kind of coldly and then they just read out like the severance stuff and just said like, you know, it's your last day, effective immediately, and then just like log off, and you're just kind of like, what is happening? And I think the problem for me is, so they said it was because of a conflict of interest, and essentially at the start of the year, my husband, who worked at the same company as me at the time, he quit because he didn't, you know, he wanted to pursue other things. And at the time, I remember them being really pissed about it because my husband is really good at his job. He's really good at sales, and they just kind of lost this really great salesperson. So they were blindsided by him leaving. And then one day randomly, my manager called me. It was like, you know, how's it going? You know, normal conversation. And then he goes on to, like, completely blindsides me, and he's like, so where's Tanner going? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's just figuring out what he wants to do. We have a couple of rental properties. And I was like, he's gonna work on like managing them, and yeah, like, I don't know, that was like it. I just said doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He just wants to change like what he's doing. And then he's like, well, you know, if he ever works at one of our competitors, then that's good, and you guys live in the same household, that's gonna be a real problem. And I'm like, okay. It was just a really uncomfortable situation, and I felt like my job was being threatened at the time. So I get off the call, tell Tanner about it, and he's like, what the fuck? He didn't have, you know, the balls to ask me directly about what I'm doing. Like, no questions about it to him when they had a conversation on the phone. But he'll go to my wife and try to get information out of her. So that just set him off. So we reported that to HR, had a conversation about it, and yeah, I mean, it was fine, moved on. I like reviewed the handbook and everything, and it didn't say anything about like, you know, family or spouse working at another company. So flash forward to like April, May, and Tanner came out on LinkedIn and said he's working at this adjacent company now. And I'm guessing that's what set them off, because I got let go because of a conflict of interest. And it's because my husband works at a competitor company. My husband, not even me. And I'm just trying to process this. So like, I went back to the handbook, and they added that your family cannot work at a competitor. Your family cannot work at a competitor. What?
I'm sitting here. I don't want to cry, but I feel like the tears are going to start rolling. But I just got an email from a manager telling me to come into the office tomorrow and bring all my government issue equipment. So I'm thinking that they laid me off. I've been working with the IRS for a couple months now, and I just don't understand how this is legal. I have a daughter, I have responsibilities, I have bills, and he just comes and lays people off. How does he sleep at night knowing that he's taking income away from so many families?